possible and go as quickly as possible. But the purpose of this meeting is to cover everything that you need to know to get started, but not just what you need to know to get started, but also kind of a little bit of background on how the brokerage runs, because there's a lot of questions that come up. So we're going to cover those. First of all, so there's going to be probably 3 things that I'll bring up during this meeting that are like the remembers, okay? You can forget everything I say except for these 3 things. Just kidding. The first one is kwwestfield.com. That's the title of our website. It actually takes you to kwwestfieldhome.com, which is fine. But this website is going to be one of your best friends. It's going to have almost everything that you need. And so again, kwwestfield.com, write that down, remember it. And on the website, you're going to see things like agent resources. This includes a link to Command directly. It's got Ignite, all the classes, and the Zoom link on there. It's got important documents. There's going to be brokerage specific documents that you're going to need. And if there's ever a time where you don't know where to find those, come to the website. They're probably here, okay? Besides that, we've got the training calendar. If you go to the training calendar, this will show you all of the classes that are going on for the day. So today we've got staging with Jackie. Our broker Q&A starts right now, as well as orientation, which we've got going right now. Next week, we've got a CE course, accountability, Command Bootcamp is next week. We'll talk about that. We've got a business planning clinic, which is kind of a big deal. How to build consistent business. Developments with Brad Morgan, right? So gives you kind of an idea of what's coming up, okay? So again, on the website, kwwestfield.com. There is a link on the website to meet with me. I'm the Director of Agent Services. We'll talk about that in just a second, but it's my job to make sure that you know, let me move this so it looks like I'm looking at you, so that you know what's going on in your business, you know where to get your stuff, where to get your business cards, so on and so forth, and we'll talk through a lot of that today, but I'm a good resource for you. In fact, I should be your first point of contact as the Director of Agent Services anytime you have a question, unless it is, contract related, then you'll want to ask Amber, and we'll get you that information in just a second. Let's see, anything else in Agent Resources? Our YouTube page is there, which has all of our trainings. So you can go there. Case studies, you're going to be required to complete case studies before you write a contract. So make sure you get those done. This is where you can download them. We'll talk about those in just a second. And the rest. Any questions about that?
I don't think so.
Okay. So we talk about how we are a brokerage. We have a lot of staff here, and every staff member does a different item. So let's talk about who does what. So this is the executive leadership team. Some of you may have met Tim. Tim is essentially our CEO. He runs the brokerage. He is in charge of high-level recruiting. And by high level, I mostly mean like brokerages, plural, or people who are doing like us, like have major teams or whatever it might be. Like the type of agents where a transition coming into our brokerage is going to be kind of like a big deal. It's going to change their business significantly. They're going to have to rebrand, all these things, and so he walks them through those steps. So you'll see Tim around. He also runs team meeting. Nova Lee is really who's in charge. She is the MCA, who is the equivalent of a CFO. She runs all the finance, high-level finance. She's also basically the HR department. So if you have a grievance, please bring it up with Nova Lee. And she's just fantastic. So get to know her. Dean is our principal broker. Dean is in charge of making sure that you don't get sued. So if you have a question about a contract, once you've gotten past a year of being in our brokerage, then you'll reach out to Dean. He'll walk you through things. Also, usually on average, every 5 years or so, someone might threaten to sue you. Just to put that on your radar. It's pretty consistent. If that is the case, the script that you should be using is, oh, okay, I can no longer speak with you. You're going to have to talk with my broker, Dean, from now on, and you hang up the phone. Or I'll have him call you and hang up the phone, right? You don't have conversations with people that threaten to sue. You have Dean have conversations with those people. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, sweet. Yes, Dean knows what he's doing. He is awesome. We love Dean. We're lucky to have him. I'm the Director of Agent Services and Technology. It's, again, my job to make sure that you know what you're doing. Also, it's my job to teach you Command, which is our main software that we use to run all of our business through, including marketing, transaction coordination, database management, the works. Okay? So we'll talk about when those classes happen in just a second. Sid, most of you probably know Sid. The majority of agents that actually join the brokerage meet with Sid. She's the assistant team leader. She's Tim's assistant. She does the majority of recruiting, especially new agents. So then Matt is the MCA assistant. So he is Novalee's assistant. It's his job to make sure that you get paid. So if you have a question about checks or direct deposit or whatever it might be, Matt's your guy. So become his best friend, and maybe he'll start writing random checks for you. Just kidding. It's hard when you're muted, guys. I can't hear you laugh because I'm so funny.
So fun.
Thank you. Jake's got my back. He's throwing in commentary. Thank you, Jake. So Talina is the Director of Swag and First Impressions. It is her job to run events for the brokerage. So we hold client events. Obviously, hashtag 2020, hashtag COVID. We are not doing very many events. We did one this year, which was a pumpkin event. But this will hopefully pick up a lot more next year. You'll hear a lot more from her. She also does awards. We have 2 major awards every month, the Cultural Icon of the Month and the Agent of the Month. And those who receive those awards for that month get upfront parking. There's 2 spots that are designated. If you've ever come to the office, you'll see those. So Carla and Callie are our directors of First Impressions. Now, we're going to take a step back. Again, I said that there's going to be about 3 things that are actually really important that I talk about. This is the second one. These guys are going to be your best friends. They are going to get you your business cards. They're going to get you your signs, your name tags. They're going to get you signed up for the Brivo Pass, which will give you access to this building. You can use that app to basically open the door at any time of any day. We always close, the doors lock at 6 automatically. So if you need to come in after 6, which a lot of times people do, you can open the doors remotely. Also, with the printers, they'll get you access to the printers. They'll get you all set up on them, download the drivers, so on and so forth. Any questions about that?
No.
Sweet. Okay, so Carla and Callie are awesome. Amber is the new agent advisor. It's Amber's job, so it's my job to answer questions, just basic questions that you have about how things run, how can I get started, so on and so forth. But as soon as you jump into a transaction, it's Amber's job to guide you through. Amber is essentially Dean's assistant. She has been an agent longer than she hasn't been an agent, so that should tell you something. She knows what she's doing. And I'm going to give you her number and my number right now. So pull out your phones, whatever you want, write it down. My number is 801-636-7505. And Amber's number is 801-717-0025.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Everybody got that? Ryan and Austin?
Yep.
Thumbs
Got it.
up? Okay.
Yes, got it.
Okay. Awesome. Those are going to be your 2 best friends. Well, I won't be your best friend, but I'll hang out occasionally. Just kidding. Yeah. Okay. So culture. Oh, the whole title of culture is missing on this. That's weird. The summary of this is that we are a very open book brokerage. So if you have questions, you can ask almost anybody in this building and they will have answers. please feel free to walk around, ask questions, get feedback, ask people for their buyer presentations, ask people for how do you run an open house, right? Get ideas, bounce ideas off of each other. Our culture is one of abundance. So we believe strongly that there's plenty of real estate to go around for everybody. There are no trade secrets. And most of the time when you talk about what you consider is your trade secret, someone will hear it and not implement it anyway. So, you know, it is what it is. The ALC, this is actually changing this month. So we'll have all new agents, but the top 20% of agents in our brokerage get to join what's called the ALC. And that's basically, they run different portions of the brokerage. So Amber runs retention, Jasmine runs KW Cares, Taylor runs technology and is the regional ALC, Hannon runs preferred vendors. So these people are in charge of making sure that everyone knows what to do in these categories. So Jen manages solo agents. The More Club is those who do 3 million in production or more. They get to do special events. One of the events they did was Taylor has a flipping company, so they all went with Taylor to 3 of his flips that are currently in production, and he walked them through how he found them, the numbers, how they made sense according to his numbers, so on and so forth. That makes sense. So get a little bit more high-level interaction with how other agents in our brokerage run. That makes sense?
Yeah, that's great.
Sweet. The pro of being on the ALC is that you get all the referrals from the brokerage. So if someone walks into our building or calls us on the phone and says, hey, I'm a buyer, I just need an agent, those people go to the ALC.
What did you say ALC stands for?
Agent Leadership Council.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And that sounds impressive, but it's not. We probably get like 3 of those a month, maybe like 7 a quarter. And so between 9 ALC members, right, they get like 3 referrals a year from that. So not a lot of money in being an ALC member, but a lot of time commitment. So we love them. They're our friends. Okay. Okay, training calendar. We talked about the training calendar. Here it is right here. This is going to be your best friend. Not only does it have all the classes, but if you click on a class, it also has the link to the Zoom inside it. Okay? All classes are either in person or Zoomed right now, with the exception of this one. This is going to be an extremely, I would say prestigious, but not prestigious, that's not the word, exclusive class. Brad only wants a few people to come to that who are in the top 20% because he wants to just teach people that are going to actually start doing this year. So anyway, any questions?
So far.
So far.
Nope.
Okay, booking a room. Going back to our awesome front desk ladies, the directors of First Impressions. These ladies can help you book a room. So we have the 4 conference rooms downstairs. If you've ever seen those, they look like, I can't make this scroll. I have to wait for it to scroll. Give it an hour. But they look like something. So you can book any of those 4 conference rooms downstairs. You can book this large training room as well. People have done all kinds of things with this. Oh, the other ones aren't on here actually. Shoot, oh well. You can do lots of things with this. You can, so an example of something that's been done is I actually booked my high school reunion and had it in the basement. Brought food and the works, and it's really, really open if you take out all the tables and chairs. And it's just, it was a really good source for me to talk about, hey, I'm in real estate. Just naturally came up, right? People asked, oh, who booked this building? Oh, Josh did. Oh, he must work here. Oh, he's a real estate agent. You know, it just, the conversation came out naturally. Does that make sense?
Did you get any
cool
sales from it?
What was that?
I said, did you get any sales from it?
Yeah, actually,
That's awesome.
I sold, how many homes did I sell from that? At least 1.
Totally worth it.
4,
Wow.
possibly 4. So it actually worked really well. Like putting yourself out there and having just constantly reminding people in a non-confronting way that you're a real estate agent, speaks miles, right? Also, this is a nice building. This was built like 2 years ago. And so coming into a prestigious building kind of gives that air of like, oh, this must be a prestigious person, right? They must know what they're doing. They're involved in this type of a company. Oh, it's probably higher level, right? That's
awesome.
That's the mindset we're trying to give. So let's go here. I got to move your faces really quick so I can see my. Okay. So the third thing, that's the one thing to remember, is this. And you might all be on this, but we have a Facebook group called KW Westfield Agents. Before I move forward, I want a verbal confirmation that all of you are on this page. If you're not, go right now, add yourself to it. KW Westfield Agents.
All right, I got it.
Sweet. There's Austin.
So do you have to do more than just like it?
Oh, you have to, yeah, so it's a group. So you liked our business page, but the
okay.
KW Westfield Agents group is a private group. We only allow agents that are a part of our brokerage to join it. In fact, we don't even allow spouses. Sometimes spouses will request and we'll say no. You have to be an active agent in our brokerage. We don't allow vendors, and you'll see why in just a second once we get everybody in.
There we go.
Nice, Jake. Ryan, are you already a part of this?
No, I just sent a request just now to join the group.
Sweet. Okay, awesome. So let's look at it. So Ignite announcement. This is who's teaching. This is when the classes are. I'm looking for a rental. This is where we just as agents collaborate. Well, we want 600 turkey dinners for our giveaway. We only have 212. Let's talk about that. I'm looking for existing townhomes. Thank you. There's a class, Staging with Jackie Peterson. Because you're a part of the group, you will get an invite to every single class that happens. So if you're not checking the training calendar, this is another source to remind you of things that are happening. Another class, I'm looking for someone to host an open house. I need a contractor to subdivide land. Did you know about this? Right, this is just where we as agents collaborate about a ton of different things. What's your favorite laptop as an agent? Who does your database management, right? Any questions about this?
That looks pretty cool.
Nope.
So sorry, Austin?
No questions.
Oh, as a brokerage, we are the largest in Utah County. We have over 300 agents on this group. I think there's like 290 of those 300. It's not everybody joins the group. Let's see, 307 members. So there you go. So 307 members, that's no small thing. 307 agents are collaborating on here, and we're the brokerage that's going to hit $1 billion in sales this year. So these are no small people. Okay, so take advantage of it. Ask questions. It's a really good place to collaborate, to understand what's going on. This is our main hub. Okay. All right, we are cruising. It's 9:22. Let's wrap this up here. I'll come back to team and mentor in just a second. First, not third, second or third. This is just talking about how we as a brokerage, we really want to be first, right? We're at 300 agents. Our goal for next year is 500. And then from there, just keep growing. We're structured to be able to take on anybody and accommodate their needs. Inside our brokerage, and we also want to become that place that people go to whose name is heard around the county. Everybody knows about KW, and they know that the top agents in the industry come here. So we really want to be number one. So help us. If you have questions, if you have feedback, if there's something that's you're just like, I don't really love this, please let us know so that we can improve, we can get better. Okay?
Sweet.
Team mentor Amber. So the way that this is structured, the way that, let me go here. We're going to stop our share. We are going to do something I've never done before, which is the whiteboard. You guys ever seen this? You can draw on it. Awesome. The way that this works is we have 3 different options for you to, what's the word? For help for you, okay? You've probably heard of most of these. Oh my gosh, I've never used this, so this is gonna be hard. So there's Amber, there's a mentor, and there's teams, okay? Oh my gosh, just excuse the messiness of how this is gonna turn out. Amber is free, so that's awesome. She's free, she's a great resource for you. Oh my gosh, that's so bad. She's a great resource for you. You're gonna be able to, she's gonna be able to answer all of your questions. The problem, not the problem, the downfall of using Amber is that she's also a full-time agent, so she's not available 24/7, right? You might call her at 8 o'clock and she might be in Hawaii, and if she's your only resource, that makes it a little bit more difficult. Does that make sense? So she's the default. We love Amber. She's excellent, extremely helpful, and free for you as an agent because she's a part of our brokerage. Another side is the mentorship program, which is usually comes with it's like a 25 to 50% split-ish. Basically, the summary, oh, I did that backwards. The summary of the mentorship program is you pick one of the top 20 agents in our brokerage. You can interview with them, you can ask around, and you pick one that will walk you through a blank amount of transactions. You can choose however many. And so if you just want to do one, just to get your first one underneath your belt, you pay them a certain percentage that you agree on out of the commission, and they will literally walk you through everything. They can come to your buyer appointment. They can walk through the listing with you, right? And you can use people like the Lane Thompsons of the brokerage who are doing 100+ deals a year and know what they're doing, right? And learn from the best, okay? The pro of this is that you can do your own branding. It's totally up to you. And the other pro is that there is no like commitment. However many transactions you want to do, that's how many you do with them. Okay. So if you want to look into the mentorship program, talk to Sid. She kind of runs that and heads that, but she'll take care of you. The other option is a team. So a team is usually at least 50%. Sometimes there's 60-40 splits. Sometimes there are 70-30 splits, meaning you take home 70, the team keeps 30. I don't know if we have any more of those teams. But the pro of a team is they do a whole bunch of stuff for you. So what do you guys think that a team would do?
Marketing.
Marketing. I was going to write TC. So marketing, TC work, help, right? Usually a team has multiple, quote unquote, staff members just on that team. They'll have a director of ops. They'll probably have a marketing guy. They'll probably have a transaction coordinator, and all those resources are yours to call and ask questions to. The reason why you're giving up 50% of your commission is because the idea, leads, that's another one, right? Usually a team will give you leads. They'll basically give you closings, right? But that's the mindset, is that you do half the work, but you make half the money. But the pro is usually if you're doing half the work, you're also doing double the business you would do by yourself. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the team can be extremely, extremely lucrative for a lot of people. And for the dependent, quote unquote, person, this is probably your best bet, right? Is to join a team. The brokerage ourselves will have a team here shortly. Our goal is by the end of the year. And so that will be a little bit different. If you're on a team, the split is 85-15 instead of 70-30 with the brokerage. And that way you don't feel as much of the hit from from being on team. That makes sense. So you'll have a lower split being on a team. I mean, your split will still be the same in the long run. So like it will still be $18,000 as same as everybody else, right? And so it will just take longer to cap in that scenario, but you'll take home more as you go. Does that make sense?
So they're putting together a team, you said, for this later this year?
Yeah, our goal is to have a team for like a brokerage held team where the splits are something we're thinking right now 50-50, basically consistently. But I don't know if that will happen by the beginning of next year, but we're already interviewing people. Like we're already going down the road. We're making plans in the background. So hopefully that will be soon.
And as far as the mentor one, is there a list of people that are open to giving that help?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So Sid will have that list. She'll work with you to figure out, okay, what's your personality like, and which of the top 20% who are interested in being mentors would fit that personality, and then you can go meet with people and figure out for yourself which one you like the most. That makes sense?
Cool.
So, okay, any other questions about this?
Nope.
Well, looks great.
I will say one more thing about this, the TC. We have someone named Jen Gray who does individual transactions as a TC. So you don't have to be on a team to get his TC, right? I'm not on a team currently, and I'm going to use Jen Gray for a contract I'm hopefully going under contract with today. I'm just waiting for their reply. But Jen it costs like $250 or something per transaction, and she'll take care of the whole back end. You never have to touch paperwork except for to write the offer and get the buyer broker signed. So there's a lot of pros to that. The downfall of things like this as well, and the Jen Grays of the world, is that you don't learn how to do it yourself, right? But counter argument, if it's going to take you 80% more time, right? Why spend that 80% more time when you could do the thing that you're good at? If TC work is not the thing that you're good at, it may behoove you to leverage that out so that you don't spend so much time stressing and worrying about it. Okay? Sweet. Okay, I think that's probably good. Let's go here. Okay, so quickly, we're gonna jump through these last three things here. First one is this, Command Bootcamp. So Bootcamp starts next week. If any of you are not familiar with Command, you definitely want to come to Bootcamp. I would recommend coming to Bootcamp more than once, for sure. In Bootcamp, we walk through all of the modules in Command and how to run your business through it, basically. Okay, so that's next week from 1 to 2 every single day. And if you graduate from Bootcamp, meaning you get all of the homework done, then you will receive a $50 credit for Facebook ads. Now, the industry standard, the industry average for ads from Facebook in terms of lead conversion is like $15 a lead. We've partnered with Facebook, and they built out the back end of how our ads run, and we get about $2 to $3 per lead. So it's extremely high conversion. I mean, not conversion, but lead generation source. And it's super, super effective. RedSign does most of their leads from Facebook now, right? Which is a big team here. Any questions on that?
No.
Come to Bootcamp and learn a lot.
I have
I
a
will
quick
be
question.
sending you this. This is our Let's Get Started flyer. It's what we call a 30, 60, 90. So first 30 days, next 30 days, following 30 days, right? So this will give you a walkthrough of what the best things are to get done immediately, and then with time, and then by the time of the new year or whatever 60 days out is. Well, that's way sooner than 60 days. Anyway, yeah, I will send this in an email as a follow-up to this call. Any questions on this?
I have a question about the boot camp. Is that something
Okay.
we need to sign up for, or do we just attend?
You just attend. It's on the training calendar. It'll
Okay.
be both in person and via Zoom. It's always better if you can to attend in person because you'll learn faster. And we do a lot of things like I can walk around if you're in person and answer questions that you have, like, oh, it's not working, it's not bringing up this tab, or it's giving me this error, or whatever it might be, right? It's easier for me to what's the word? Oh my gosh, my words are failing me. It's too early. Troubleshoot, that's the word. It's easier for me to troubleshoot issues that come up. So all right, let's get started. Flyer, that's done. Case studies, last thing. Let's go back here. Case studies. So the case studies is basically a walkthrough of different transaction scenarios. You need to do all of these. There are 8 of them. So in each of these, you're going to include all docs to represent the buyer, a copy of the lead-based paint disclosure signed by the buyer as if it came from the seller. Basically, you need to get all of these scenarios done paperwork-wise in order to write your first actual transaction. This is practice, okay? Case studies is an Amber thing. So Amber will pass them off with you, and she will walk you through all of the steps for here. I teach a lot of this in Command. So if you have questions about what this looks like, come to boot camp, okay?
Cool.
Sweet.
So do we schedule a one-on-one with Amber to pass those off?
No, you just email to her as you go. So you can just get one done, email it to her, get the next one done, email it to her. She teaches a class called WITSE, which is What If They Say Yes? It was actually yesterday. I don't know how many of you were able to attend that. But that will also be in 2 weeks from now. So in that class, she walks through a lot of that as well. If a time comes where you need her email, just either text her or call her and she can send that to you, or me, and I can send that to you. I don't actually know what that is off the top of my head. And the last thing is, we talked about this a little bit, but a one-on-one, where are we at? Meet with Josh. Let's meet. I would love to meet with you one-on-one. Let's talk about what your plans are. Let's talk about, there's a couple back-end things in Command. Let's make sure you can access Command. And so just hop onto here and schedule time with me, especially if you can before boot camp. If you don't know anything about Command and you haven't been able to log in yet, let's make sure that happens before boot camp starts on the 16th, okay? So before 1 o'clock. Any questions on that?
Nope.
Okay. Sweet. Well, that's it. Any other questions about the brokerage?
Oh, thank you so much.
Is this
Quick
helpful?
question. You said there was 3 important things that we need to make sure we took away from this. What were those 3 things? Just to make sure I got
Yeah,
them all.
number 1 is the website, kwwestfield.com. Just remember that website destination. Number 2 is the training calendar. The training calendar is on the website. That's where all the Zoom links are for every class ever known to man. Also, on the training calendar is team meeting. As a brokerage, we have team meeting. I should make that a talking point on here. Let me add that. As a brokerage, we have team meeting every Tuesday at 11. And so that gives you an update of what's happening in the brokerage. We talk about the awards usually in those meetings. We have a power moment, which is like a 20-minute discussion on, I don't know, flips in the area, or mental health, or whatever it might be. Like, we sometimes bring in guest speakers. We've had some pretty famous people come in and talk through things. So, and then the third one was what was it? Facebook group. Yeah, that was the third most important. Okay.
Hey, great.
Sweet. Awesome. You guys are awesome. Welcome, and have a great day.
Thank you.
Josh.
You're welcome. See ya. Bye.